Hello, and welcome. Oh no, I think I may be having technical difficulties. Oh wait, there it goes. Because it said zero for a second. I'm like, I see people in the chat, so I'm never sure that I don't have zero. Okay, let me welcome everybody to Battle with Belle. It is such a privilege to be on tonight. It's a privilege to have a YouTube channel. It's a privilege to have 1,000 subscribers and growing. It's also a privilege to have a wonderful mod squad. So I want to start by welcoming my managing moderator, Karen McCarty. Thank you ever so much for being here. She's already asking for thumbs up. I'm always hoping tonight will be the night that we have more thumbs than ever. I also want to welcome Samantha Sessions. She is the lady behind Battle with Belle. She books all my guests. She preps them, helps them with their categories, pumps them up and gets them all revved to go. So she has booked some great contestants tonight. If you haven't seen my YouTube community page, you'll see a list of them and you'll see them one by one. Welcome to Canadian Girl Renee. So nice to have you here. She's kind enough to check answers whenever there is a question. So let me start by making some channel announcements. Here we go. If you haven't already taken the poll on my YouTube community post, for those of y'all who don't know, one of my favorite aspects of the YouTube community post is not just publicizing the videos you released, not just publicizing your upcoming lives, but being able to connect with the viewers so that y'all can take these polls and tell me what you want and when and how you want it. That gives me such great feedback. It's like having a built-in focus group. And I am so blessed by that. So I've used mine that every week I let y'all take a poll of what theme you want for the viewer's choice pop-up auction. Now, we are going to leave the voting open until midnight tonight. Then after that, it will be announced what the winning theme was. Danielle will be hard at work cranking out the thumbnail, and I can't wait for y'all to see what it is. The voting is so close right now between Belle's Outdoor Adventure and between Bling by Belle. So who knows which will win? I think when last I looked, it was something like 53% to 47, or maybe it was 47 to 43. It was just a small percentage difference. So I'm like holding my breath, not knowing which items to get out for tomorrow afternoon's auction. So if you haven't already voted, make sure you go ahead and vote. And then join me at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow, where I show you all of these fabulous items that we have in that theme. And keep in mind, we will still have Belle's Bargain Bonanza, which is a great bargain round that takes place at the beginning of every single auction on the Bargains by Belle series, as well in the middle. And during those two bargain rounds, every item has a starting bid of $1, and we plummet our regular bidding increment 50 cents. So it is a great reason to tune in at the beginning of the auction and to make sure you stay around till the middle of the auction as well. So set your days and your calendars. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It's free. And make sure you turn on those notifications so that you get notified when the auction is about to begin. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we will have our regular auctions. Our Saturday auction is at 7, and last Sunday we moved our auction. They both used to be at 7, but it seems like people were tuning in a little bit late on Sunday. So I said, well, I'm a girl that can take a hint. We will just delay starting the auction, especially since there's a few other auctions on Sunday nights. So now our Sunday auction starts at 9. That way you can go to some other auctions, you can cook and eat dinner, and then as you're trying to unwind, you need a place to put your feet up, maybe buy a few things as you're falling asleep. You've got my auction. And then next Monday, we are back with another episode of Battle with Belle. And Samantha already has great guests booked for next week as well. So, without further ado, laissez bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Roll in your life, roll in your heart, roll in your soul. Roll on and on and on. Now, I've got both of the contestants already in the back room. Y'all know the more people in the back room, the more I seem to buffer here in the middle of the bayou with my internet. So I'm going to go with the person who arrived first to be the first contestant. We have Cool Ranch Dorito, whose first name is Amy. And Amy, tell us about yourself and then tell us about your channel. And Samantha will start dropping your links so that people can start subscribing.
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Amy Dirito, Dirito. Don't confuse me with the corn chip, although I am using that as kind of my, plug. So long story, but my nephew and niece, when they were very young, used to spend lots of time with me and Mike. And so they thought that his last name was Dorito, like the corn chip. And they thought that he owned
Oh,
a Dorito factory. And they thought we were rich. And I said, no. Anyway, long story, but when Alex, our oldest nephew, realized that when he could read, he realized that our name was not spelled that way. He said, "Hey, the jig is up." We know. He's like, I know that you do not own the corn chip company. So that's kind of how we got started. But I kind of kept that as he's the original Dorito and I'm Cool Ranch. I don't know.
oh.
But that's how I got my YouTube name. I got started and I am continuing with my good friend Scooter Renee.
Hi, Scooter Renee.
She's in the chat. There she is. And we started doing regular auctions, or I started. She coached me on how to do this thing, and has been there as my support system, my sister, like sister in Christ and sister in all other ways. I can
Aw.
always call her, and she always calls me. It was just like a match made in heaven for sure with friendship. So yeah. Anyway, I just love my Scooter, but she got me she got me going in on the YouTube auctions, and now I've just been guest auctions, and then I started doing my own solo auctions. I'm not a real fan of doing solo auctions. I kind of like to be with my friends, they kind of give a little bit of a buffer. So I hope you'll join, or every once in a while just Google me, and be sure that you spell it Dirito. But I'm on with Scooter every Thursday. So
Now, Samantha, go ahead and start dropping Amy's link, pretty please. And Canadian Girl Renee is complimenting the gorgeous shirt you're wearing.
oh, thank you. Thank you. I got all dressed up for the occasion.
And we are so glad you're absolutely radiant.
Thank you.
And tell everybody, since you've mentioned auctions, some of the
Mhm.
items you sell and why they want to not miss your auctions and to head over and what they can expect from you.
Well, I do a lot of jewelry. I like doing jewelry because with the high cost of shipping, I can provide some really beautiful costume and 925 silver um, items. So I do a lot of that, but you can package them in a small envelope, and it's inexpensive to ship.
Right.
I occasionally I will do auctions which are 135, which is everything is either $1, $3, or $5. Those have been
Woo!
pretty popular. I
Those are some
also
great
have,
bargains.
yeah, great bargains for sure. I really try to source items from other resellers that I can sell for a decent price, and that
Oh,
way
nice.
everybody gets a good deal. I'm supporting my fellow resellers in the community, and yeah, so
I
that's.
love that.
I also do a lot of purses, lots of beautiful purses.
Nice.
Um,
Woohoo!
so you can, if you go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And we just like to have fun. So
And so before everybody starts subscribing, where do you stand in numbers tonight?
I think I'm at a little over 300, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really, that's not really, honestly, that's not my goal. Um,
Okay.
I, I really prefer to make friends in the community. Um, it's a it's a source of income, of course.
Of
Um,
course.
I'm on, I'm on permanent disability because of cancer. Um, I had uh, triple positive breast cancer, and they kind of threw the book at me with the chemotherapy. So I'm at home all day long, and I thought this is perfect, absolutely perfect for me. I can make a little extra money. I can make a whole lot of friends. That's kind of my shtick, if you want to say.
And how recently were you diagnosed?
I was Now I'm 5 years outside of chemo, and
Oh, okay.
but the chemotherapy caused what they call chemotoxicity. So I have permanent neuropathy in my hands and my legs. So I get around most days pretty good, just because of the medications that I'm on. But yeah, it's a permanent disability situation, and one that I never expected. I worked all through chemo, and yeah, and now I can't. But I can
Well,
certainly
prayers for
I can
you, but I am so glad that
I
you
can
lived
certainly use my
through
mouth.
chemo, that you um, are here with us
Yep.
today, and that you
Yep.
are looking healthy, and that you are dealing with everything you can, and that you have such a lovely, upbeat, positive attitude. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure that your faith was a great way of
Yep.
getting through those challenges that
Yep.
God let you face.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
Okay, are you ready? Oh, and Karen just subscribed to you, so
I'm
already
ready.
you've got your first subscriber, and I'm sure as we play,
Thank
we'll see
you.
more people start subscribing
Thank
to you.
you. Yay.
So, what is your first oh, I'm sorry. I got so
That's
busy
okay.
talking to you, I didn't even tell the new people in the chat how we play the game.
Okay.
So, this game is a game called Last Word. And the way we play Last Word is contestants pick out three categories that only they know about, and I tell them to pick categories in which they are experts. Don't try to pick something that everybody knows about or that I might know about. Pick something in which you are the expert. Why? Well, because that way you'll have plenty of answers. So, once we pick a category, we will go back and forth giving answers in that category. As an example, if the category was condiments, the player might say mustard, and I would say mayo, and then the player would say honey mustard, and I might say soy sauce, and we would go back and forth until one of three things happens. Either somebody gets stumped, or two, there's an accidental duplication, or three, which is why sometimes we occasionally have to have answers checked. And when we need an answer checked with a assistant device, we have Canadian girl Renee who will hop into the stream because she has one of those fancy cyber assistant devices.
Oh,
Oh, well, thank you so much. I got a subscriber too. Woohoo. We're all just being
yeah.
blessed with subscribers. Thank you, Scooter
Nice.
Renee. Okay, so now that everybody knows how we play, Amy,
Huh?
what is your first category for tonight?
My first category is types of cheese.
Oh, fun. We haven't ever played that one before.
I'm kind
Great.
of in the, well, I'm not a chef, but some would argue. I do love to cook, and it's my love language. So I love to cook for my friends, for my family, for anybody that will eat my food, and they all seem to like
Ooh.
it. So that's why I
Ah.
chose some food categories. So types of cheeses.
Okay. Well, I have to tell you, I'm a little bit of a foodie, although I loathe
Nice.
to cook, but love to eat, love to taste, and love to go to foodie events. I just don't like to personally cook it up.
Right?
Okay, well, so I will always let somebody else be in the kitchen, especially if that's their passion. So let's begin, and the contestant always gets to begin first.
Okay. I would like to start with brie.
Yum. There's this local restaurant here. It's actually an oyster house, and their signature dish is oysters with brie, which you
Ooh,
wouldn't
that
think
sounds
would be tasty
delicious.
together, but surprisingly enough, it's really delicious.
Yeah.
I also
Cheese
like
goes
the
good with
baked
anything.
brie.
Oh, baked brie.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm not normally this much of a talker, but when it comes to food, sometimes I inadvertently get to talking. Okay. Well, I'm going to say what I
Oh,
think is the most popular cheese, although it's a cheese that I don't personally like. It's cheddar.
cheddar. Yep. I was, let's see, let's go with Asiago.
Ooh, yum. That's my favorite bagel at the Panera is the Asiago bagel.
Yeah, Asiago cheese is the bomb.
It
It's great.
is.
I like it better than Parmesan, actually. Oops. I kind of just let out another one. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so
Um,
you can't say Asiago or Parmesan. I stole it from you.
okay, fair enough. I'm going to start with the simple ones before I start getting to the fancy ones.
Okay.
I'm going to finish my list of other cheeses I don't like, which is American cheese. I just don't
American
like
cheese, that's
American
a good
cheese.
one. My husband loves American cheese.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I have to tell you,
Well,
I was an adult until I found out that I could like grilled cheese. I always thought I didn't like grilled cheese because growing
yeah,
up, my mother made it with American cheese, and I
American
didn't
cheese.
like American cheese. And then as a teenager, my dad started making it with cheddar, but I also
Cheddar.
don't like cheddar. Once I got to college, people said, you can make it with all
Any
white
kind,
cheeses, right?
any kinds of
And
cheese.
then I'm like, I do like grilled cheese after all. I just didn't like it with American or cheddar.
Right? There's a Canadian cheddar. Ooh, I would love to try that. Canadian Renee said there's a Canadian cheddar.
I
I've
wonder
not
how it's different.
Wow. It sounds delicious. I'm going to go with cream cheese.
Oh, yum.
It's great in
Oh,
desserts,
it
great on a
is.
bagel.
And down because everything is translated into French, you have to read for the Neufchâtel.
Oh, what?
It literally says Neufchâtel.
Neuchâtel?
Mm-hmm.
What, cream cheese?
Yes, 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 yes. It has the same, silver packaging, just like the Philadelphia cream cheese. But
Yeah.
in all the local stores, if you buy the store brand or the generic, it literally says Neufchâtel.
Well, that sounds fancier
But
than
it's
cream
half the
cheese.
price and the same taste. So,
Yeah.
and it spreads on your bagel just as well. Okay, next I'm going to go with my late father's favorite, Swiss.
Ooh, love Swiss cheese. I'm going to go with goat. goat cheese.
Ooh,
Have you ever had goat
okay.
cheese?
I thought that I have. My understanding is that there were many goat cheeses because I've had the goat cheese with cranberry in it. I've had the goat cheese with pesto
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, they add there's, lots of additives to the regular goat cheese. I just love the just plain goat cheese, just on a cracker. And that my husband doesn't care for either. But it's
Okay,
healthier
well,
for you. It is
is
some
it?
people say that the goat cheese is healthier.
Okay.
Yeah, don't care for it.
Well, Renee, if you didn't know what it was and somebody just handed you it on a cracker, you would say, "Yum, it's creamy and delicious." You would not know. I don't think it has like a specific goaty taste to
Oh
it.
no. No, it's got a little bit of a sharp taste. I'm trying to think of the what it's close to. It's not like a blue cheese. It's maybe a mild like blue cheese. I don't know. A couple notches, quite a few notches down. It's just delicious. It's
It
delicious.
is.
I love it.
Absolutely. Well,
Yes,
I'm going to
favorite.
say my favorite cheese now, which is
Uh-huh.
pepper jack.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
It's got a
definitely.
little kick, but not a lot of kick. It's not an
Yep.
overwhelming kick, but it'll zip
It
up a
doesn't
sandwich.
like burn your mouth. The
Right. There are some that will
pepper.
burn your mouth, but pepper jack is
Mhm.
just a little kick up.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to go with blue cheese.
yum. And very similar, but stronger than blue cheese is the gorgonzola.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I'm sorry, I had to turn
Olive
my
Garden used to have this fabulous dish. It was always my go to order there on dates
what
until it was discontinued like 5 years ago, which was a gorgonzola crusted steak
oh,
on top of some Alfredo pasta. But I guess
that's
it must have been too pricey to make because they discontinued it. It was so
yeah.
good.
They could have just raised the price, but if it might not have been a quite a popular dish. Um, let's see. We have in Mexican cooking, we have cotija cheese. It's
Okay.
spelled Cotija, cotija, and it's again, it's like a feta type cheese. It's a crumbly cheese that you put on Mexican dishes.
Okay. Well, since we're going international, for all those pizza lovers out there who are saying, think of pizza, I'm going to say mozzarella.
Mozzarella, that's a good one. Great melty cheese. Love it. Great for pizzas. So I already gave up Parmesan. Let's do Havarti.
Ooh, good one.
I
Okay.
especially like the Havarti with the dill. That is
Oh,
delicious. That's like my go-to on crackers for sure.
well, while I'm thinking about Italian cheeses, what comes to mind next is Romano.
Romano cheese. Yes. Mm-mm. That's good. How about pecorino? So
Ooh,
pecorino and Romano have kind of a very similar, and they usually combine the two with the pecorino Romano cheese blend. If you're looking at the grocery store and you're getting the stuff that's pre-shredded in the package, you will find a pecorino Romano or Romano pecorino. I don't know how they word it.
okay.
Mm,
Well, let's see. I said um, pepper jack, but I haven't said Monterey. This round is Monterey Jack.
okay. All right. How about cottage cheese?
Ooh, great with fruit. Okay.
That's one of my favorites. I know that's like so old school, but I love cottage cheese. Just cottage cheese with the little pepper on top and on a little cracker. That's like lunch for me.
Yum.
Mm.
Okay, let's see. What else is there? How about Gouda?
Gouda is very Gouda.
That's a cute joke.
That's
See,
what I
women can
always say.
make dad jokes too.
That's right. I've got food jokes for days.
Well, bring them on. Bring them
Yeah,
on. This
right?
is the place
Right?
to appreciate them.
Let's do Munster.
Ooh, good one.
Canadian Renee says she loves her cottage cheese with bananas and strawberries. Ooh, that sounds kind of good.
It
I might have to try
does.
that. Mm-hmm.
Because I could see how the creaminess of a banana would go with the creaminess of cottage cheese. That suddenly makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. And cottage cheese is so mild. You can put. My husband used to love pineapple with his cottage cheese, like a,
Yes,
you know,
I've had it that way too.
yeah.
There's a brand called Breakstones that
Ooh,
actually packages pineapple. They have these duos, and half is fruit and half is cottage cheese. And one of them
wow,
is pineapple with the cottage cheese.
very nice. Okay,
Okay.
where are we
Yeah.
going from here?
You know what I have this mental block right now. You know,
Hmm.
sometimes you get fixated on thinking of one thing. And when I was growing up, my mother would make lasagna and she would always substitute cottage cheese for the real cheese you're supposed to put in there. And I've been trying to think since we started this game of the cheese that's supposed to be in lasagna because it looks basically the same. I keep trying to think of that cheese and I can't think of it. I guess I'm going to have to set
Honestly,
it aside and say something else. I'm sure it will eventually come to me. If not, somebody will tell me in the chat, I can't believe you
right.
missed that. It was on the tip of your tongue. How can you not think of that cheese that goes
You
in
know
the
what?
layers of
I've been trying to
lasagna?
think of it all day long, and I make lasagna all the time. I'm trying to
Oh, do
think of the
you?
cheese. I do. I do.
But
And
you know
I always
how that
we,
mental block is. You know what it
yeah,
is. You know what it looks like. You can
just
see
not coming.
that
It's
white
just not
and
coming
red
out.
with the green lettering package, and yet
Yeah.
you just can't think of what it is. But one of the great things about this game is that there's an ask the
Oh, you're breaking.
audience. And so,
Okay.
but I just cannot think of it to save my life. I'm going to the audience.
You want to
Switch,
ask the
whether it's the
audience?
one I'm trying to think of or just some other one.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to use my first of three Ask the Audience. So, everybody in the audience, go ahead and fill the chat with delicious cheeses that I have not yet said. I'm so sorry about the buffering. Y'all know my
That's okay.
Bayou internet is not great. And the more people in the back room, the more I seem to buffer. So, my apologies as
Oh,
always.
yep. We've said brie. We've said
But
Swiss.
Lisa has the what I was looking for, ricotta. I am taking Lisa's answer of ricotta. That is exactly the cheese that goes in lasagna that I was trying to think
Thank
of.
you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Oh, thank
Thank
you,
you,
Lisa
Lisa.
M of Lisa M Adventure
And you know what?
Time.
I have that cheese in my refrigerator, and I I did not look. I did not look in my
Oh,
refrigerator.
that's so funny, Amy.
I know. So let's see. How about Fontina? Fontina cheese, Italian cheese. It's a Fontina.
Yes, I have heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to tell you, this is making me want to get a date and like go to the melting pot and have
I know,
fondue.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some.
Oh. I'm trying to think what other cheeses they have on their menu. Let's see what else. Um, I'm going to use my second Ask the Audience because Renee has a great answer,
Okay.
and I'm going to take her answer of mascarpone, which I believe is a dessert cheese.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I've never had it though.
Oh, it's just got a real mild, almost a little sweetness to it. Um, Not like cream cheese. It's got a different texture. It has more of a ricotta cheese texture to it.
Okay.
Very, very good. But yeah, I think I will use one of mine from the audience. And Lisa M. Adventure Time said Gruyere, although she spelled it
Ooh, it's a French fromage.
Gruyere. Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So we
And
get two Ask the Audience. Is
you
that
get
right?
three. You get three.
Okay.
I have used two of my three. You have used one of your three. And
Okay.
I might as well go ahead and use my third because I see provolone, which back in the day was the cheese of Chick-fil-A, although I think there's a few other chains that now use Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
They now use provolone, but it was one
Provolone.
of the
Mhm.
first chains to use provolone. So, yet another thing that I like about it, besides it being a faith based company that takes Sundays
Oh,
off so their employees can worship.
yeah. I love that about them and Hobby Lobby.
Yes, here, here.
Let's see.
So I have used all of my Ask the Audience, and
Okay.
Amy still has two left. Now, Samantha, keep dropping the link, and everybody make sure you subscribe to Amy Coolidge Dorito.
Thank you. So the
That way you
last
can
one,
see her pop-up auctions and her auctions with Scooter Renee
yes.
LLC.
Yep. Thank you.
Mhm.
I was thinking, um, I don't know if I said it all right. Roquefort. Have you ever had
Let's go
Roquefort
to
cheese?
I have, and it's delicious.
I
Let's go to
haven't
the
used that
audience.
one yet.
What? I'm sorry?
I haven't used that one yet, right?
Oh, you haven't. Okay. Let's see. What else is there? Now I know that there are more Hispanic and Mexican cheeses because I went
Mhm.
to college in Texas, and
Really?
I remember looking through. Pardon?
Oh, I you went to college in Texas, but go ahead.
Yes, I went to
Okay.
Baylor, and
Love
that's where I
Texas.
earned my BFA. And
Nice.
so, anyway, I remember walking through thinking, this is so different. Everything has subtitles in Spanish, and some products have no English. What in the world am I going to do? What does this mean? What does this mean?
You
And then
gotta
there's
learn
a grocery
Spanish.
store in Texas that doesn't have a name, it just has the initials HEB. And I saw the scariest thing at the HEB. They used to discount meat, and they would put it in this little end section of the freezer with these special little stickers on it, kind of a reduce for quick sale. So,
Yeah.
being a broke college student, when I was living in my first
Oh,
apartment,
right.
not on the meal plan of the cafeteria, I was always looking for discounted food. And I had not started dumpster diving at that time. It was a post college thing that I started dumpster diving. But anyway, um, I was looking for reduced meat. And at the HEB, I looked down and saw something looking back at me. I literally screamed and jumped back. And I
What?
had like five employees come over because at the HEB, they sell not just hogshead cheese. They sell an entire hog's
Hog's
head
head.
in a
Yep.
clear plastic garbage. And
They
that is
sell
almost always one of their
the
reduced for
most
quick
bizarre.
sale items. And these sweet little eyes and this big snout was staring at me. And I'm like, how did this happen? It's like a body dump of a sweet little, oh. So I was so surprised. And they're like, ma'am, you must be from out of state. Are you here going to school? Are you alone?
Right?
Do we call parents?
Oh, that's funny.
And they're like, oh no, this happens at least, 5 times per day. Somebody hasn't
Right.
been here before. Somebody sees this for you're not the first person to freak out. This isn't for you. I tell you what, I will stand in front of it so its eyes won't follow you because people
Right.
say we don't. So, are you looking to go this way or that way? We'll escort you. It was crazy. So,
Poor girl.
and in the city of Waco, they have like 12 HEBs and they have no other grocery stores. Now, since then, I
Oh
think
my
they've gotten an
gosh.
Aldi. But back at the end of the last century, when I was in college, HEB was the only grocery store throughout the store. They had a ton of them. They had pushed every other store out of business. The Winn Dixie, the Safeway, it was
Oh
just
my gosh.
HEBs. Hopefully
Wow.
now they've gotten some more grocery stores. But Waco's still a lovely town, but it loves its
Yeah,
HEBs.
that's for sure.
Okay. So I told that old story, giving
The
myself time to
story.
think of those Mexican cheeses because I remember them being white and kind of in tubes.
Yeah.
And there were some that were crumbly, there were some that looked like they were kind of mozzarella like. And they had all these hard to pronounce names.
Hmm.
I'm still trying to think of them. Otherwise, I may be stumped. Although there's probably a few other German cheeses I've forgotten as
Stumped
well.
you?
What?
I stumped you.
You might have. Give me one last second to think
Okay.
if I'm I am sure once I say I am stumped to be listing them together, but I have used all
I
three of my
know.
Ask the Audience, so even if we put it in there, it won't help me. But I think I'm going to just have to declare that I am stumped.
Aw.
So, what
Well, I
that
did
means
one
is
more.
that Amy wins. So, everybody in the chat, congratulate Amy. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! And click on the link that Samantha says she's dropping to subscribe to Amy so you
Thank
know
you.
when she has her pop up auctions, so that you can follow the auctions she has with Scooter, and you can see both her beautiful costume and sterling silver jewelry.
Yes. Thank
What
you.
is the second category for tonight?
Okay. This one I know you're going to be good at, but I'm going to
Woohoo!
I'm going to give you a shot. It
Okay.
is types of footwear.
Okay.
Types of
Is this
footwear.
for a male or a female or an athlete or a child
Either or.
or
Either
anybody?
or.
Okay. All
Anybody.
right.
Yeah.
Great.
You want me to go
Well,
first?
yes. Guest
So the
always starts.
kind of the obvious is the tennis shoes. Everybody has them, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start on the other end of obvious and go with the shoe that I can't look away from because it is so painful to see or to wear is the stiletto.
Stilettos. Yeah. Well, I'm going to do flip flops.
Okay, I'm going to go with a platform.
Oh, platform shoes. Love those. Let's just do mules.
Okay,
You
I'm going to
you
go
know what
with
a
a
mule?
yes, where you
Okay.
just push your feet in. hmm
Yep.
I'm going to go with just a simple pump.
Okay. Let's go with boots. Thigh high boots. Thigh high boots.
Okay. Then I'm going to go with the little booties that just go up to the ankle.
Okay. Let's do ballet flats.
Oh, I live in ballet flats. That is what is most comfortable to me.
And I have to tell you something funny. That was my husband's choice because
Really?
I was trying to think of all of these, and he said, "How about ballet flats?" I'm like, "Where did that come from?" It was hilarious.
I'm excited that he knows what ballet
He,
flats are.
he is the best shopper ever.
Is he?
He does most of my shopping, other than things that I get from other resellers or like when Darcy does her pairings of necklaces and blouses and stuff. Other than that, if he asks, if I tell him I want clothes for my birthday or for Christmas, he he picks out the most amazing outfits.
Oh, wow.
He knows my sizes. He can hang them up and he can tell the gal, no, this isn't going to fit. I don't like that. And and he pairs up stuff beautifully. He's amazing. But
Oh, I love that. That's
so I
the
just have to
dream,
give
is
him
to
that
find a
plug.
guy that not only Oh, that's fantastic. Some
Yeah.
guys, you can't even get to go shopping with you, but a guy that would go shopping for you, that's like so the dream.
Yeah, he loves to go shop.
Wonderful. Oh, hello and welcome, Kim, Adopted Retrospects. My next answer is going to be an answer of comfort. It is slippers.
Okay, are you there?
I'm sorry, I might have been buffering. My apologies.
Buffering.
My
Okay.
answer was slippers. Slippers.
Okay, and I said cowboy boots.
Okay. I'm going to go with moccasins.
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a really good one. I was thinking of, because it's been raining like cats and dogs in Colorado, I'm going to say,
Did I lose audio? I can't hear Amy. Can y'all hear me? Or can y'all only hear Amy and not me? Oh no. Can y'all hear me? My timer is still counting down, so I feel like I'm still broadcasting, but Amy looks frozen to me and I can't hear Amy. Samantha, if you could resend the link to Amy. Also, since we had two contestants who were both here first, I went with the contestant that was first. Samantha, you might need to email the other contestant to let her know that the order just got flip-flopped. Well, while we are waiting to get Amy back and to finish her story about the rain, which it's been raining here as well, let me make a few announcements, which is to go ahead and vote on my YouTube community post. For tomorrow's pop-up auction theme, we've got such a close race between Belle's Outdoor Extravaganza and between Bling by Belle. So if y'all will help to narrow down that tie, that would help me so much. Oh, Amy back.
I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back and welcome to Joni D.
Hi, welcome in, Joni.
Okay, so you were telling a story about the rain, and I think it was to explain your foot choice. So I can kind of guess where this was going, but I still want to hear about your rain because I too had rain today.
Yeah, we are getting ready. I think that's why it kicked me out, is because we're getting ready to have more thunderstorms here. But in all of this rain, you need your galoshes, or some people call them
Yes,
rubbers.
yes, you do.
I don't call them that, but in England
Okay.
they do, right?
They do. They do. They absolutely do. Okay, I'm going to go with slides.
All right. That's a good one. How about espadrilles?
Ooh. And very
Espadrilles.
similar
Love
to
them.
espadrilles, but without that kind of rope jute on them, are wedges.
Exactly. Darn it. Keep streaming. I don't know if you can see that. I'm so sorry. How about Oxfords? From Oxford
Ooh,
shoes
good choice.
for men, right?
Right?
And we have Danielle in
I,
the chat.
hi, Danielle. Danielle is my thumbnail maker, so she, more than anybody else, is watching the poll to see what theme is going to win so she can hurry, hurry, hurry and make the thumbnail for tomorrow. So I'm sure she is cheering on the voting because the sooner that voting closes, she can start crafting those beautiful thumbnails she makes, and they are absolute digital works of art. Okay, I'm going to go with an old time shoe. I believe it's from the 1950s called a saddle shoe.
Ooh, a saddle shoe. I am going to go with something, well, it's not very recent, but it's kind of become like a phenomenon with Crocs.
Ooh, good one. Well, I'm going to take it back to ancient times, and gladiators had these gladiator sandals. Now, about 10 years
Ooh.
ago, they tried to make it a trend again, but whether you feel like it was a good trend or a
I
miss,
didn't buy
it
them.
was a trend back in the gladiator days.
Right. Well, like that, I believe in some parts of the country, in the Danish, wear clogs.
Yes, indeed.
That's not a repeat, is it?
It's not a repeat. So
Okay.
I was thinking of it myself, but I was trying to think, wait, was it Danish? Was it German? Was it Austrian? Because I could just picture them. Well, I'm going to go back to the Renaissance times, and jesters wore what's called a jester's shoe, which had a turn up at the end and it had a bell on
Oh,
it.
ooh.
And so while they were being silly and crazy and dancing for the kings and queens of royalty, the bell just added a little bit more charm and entertainment.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of another one. I don't know if anybody out there does water skiing or like in Colorado, we don't have beaches, like sandy beaches. They're mostly rocky beaches at the lakes in Colorado, and it feels much better on your feet if you're wearing water shoes.
Oh, yes. True, true,
Yeah,
true.
and plus they have the rubber on the bottom that kind of helps so you don't slip and fall on your butt.
True. Very true. Okay. I'm going to pull a note from athletes, and I believe they wear cleats.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
My grandfather was a football coach until he went blind.
Oh, awesome. Very awesome. Um,
Thank you, Joni.
also, also popular in Colorado, where there are lots of mountains, are hiking boots.
Oh, that is just perfect for you. Yes, yes, yes. I can totally see that.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see. What have we not said yet? Okay.
I'm just running out of things I'm thinking.
Okay, I believe back in like the 1980s and 90s when the rap scene became really popular and the basketball scene was really popular, they had a shoe called a high top.
High tops. Yep. As soon as you said basketball, I knew exactly what you were saying.
And all kinds of
Well,
celebrities
also
then
in
had
the 80s.
endorsements for these high top shoes.
Oh,
Hi, Adventures with Victoria.
huge, huge. high tops listed of my husband's because he played basketball in, just some occasional basketball. He played in all through high school and whatnot, but he bought a brand new pair of high tops, like I can't remember when. And yeah, they're worth hundreds of dollars
Oh, totally
now.
collectible.
And they're, yeah, so I have those listed. Um, got for men, did I already say that one?
I'm sorry, could
I
you
don't know.
repeat that?
Oxford
Oh, you did say that one.
men's shoes. Oh, I
You
lost.
did say Oxford. I'm sorry. But that's just my opinion. Let me confirm it with the chat. Chat, did you
Sure,
hear that as well? Was that an accidental duplication? Native Wild Man. Hello,
I think so.
hello. We've been wanting to have you
Yeah.
back on ever since you told that great story, Native Wild Man, about wanting to do the summer makeover. I keep telling Samantha we've got to book him when he is ready to do the summer makeover, since we've seen the before with the long, scraggly beard. We can't wait to see the new clean shaven Native Wild Man. So make sure you get in touch with Samantha to let her know what Monday in June or July is going to work with you. Okay, so our
So
big
anybody in
question
the chat? I
is
think I did.
Oxford a accidental duplication? Because I heard it, but sometimes I mishear things.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure I did it.
Oh, okay, then.
Pretty
Well,
sure.
this round goes
I'm
to
just
me
gonna
then. So
throw
we are
myself
tied
out of the
up.
game here.
No. We are tied up
Yep,
1-1,
1-1.
and this third category will decide it.
Okay. The third category
Okay,
are
fun.
spices.
You get to start as the guest.
Like spices, they're cupboard. What's in your cupboard as far as spices? So I'm going to start with basil.
Well, Native Wild Man, if you haven't shaved, that is fantastic. We were so afraid that we had missed it. So you make sure to
So,
answer Samantha back so that we can book you and not miss it. Okay? All right. Um, so Amy started with basil. I'm going to stay in the herbaceous family, and I'm rosemary.
rosemary. Okay. I'm going to say oregano.
I'm going to go with mint.
Ooh, that's a good one. I will go with curry powder.
Okay, cumin.
I love cumin. I cook with that. So I buy like 4 bottles at a time of it.
What do you cook with
It's
it?
ridiculous.
Because I have no idea what to put it on.
Mex-
So what do you cook with it?
all anything, all kinds of Mexican dishes. If you are making a Mexican, yeah,
And Karen has a great idea to click the thumbs up. Also, go ahead and click on Amy's link to subscribe to her channel. Next, I'm going to go with paprika.
paprika. That's a good one. I will pick cilantro.
Oh, that tastes like soap to me.
No, it's delicious if it's made in the right food, if it's added to the right food.
Okay, well, good to know.
I don't
Let's
like to
see.
eat it. I don't like to eat it like, if I'm growing it as an herb in my garden, I do not like to eat it.
Okay, well, fair enough.
But
I'm trying to think what is in my spice. I'm not sure if this counts as a spice. And if it doesn't, if it's a wrong answer, you just tell me and that won't hurt my feelings. Because sometimes I do accidentally give wrong answers, but is onion salt considered a
yeah,
spice?
yeah, actually, that's one of the things I was thinking when I picked this. That's why it's things that are in your cupboard, spices that you add to your food.
Okay.
Yes, onion salt. And I'm going to say cinnamon. Uh-oh. Just dreaming again.
I also
There she
believe
is.
have some garlic salt.
Garlic salt.
Oh,
And I'm going to pick,
mhm.
sorry, I'm going to pick ginger.
Okay. I'll say nutmeg.
That's a good one. I love nutmeg.
Thank you.
I like nutmeg sprinkled in my coffee. I use mustard powder quite a bit.
Okay. I think there's a chili powder.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yep. Yep. Um, turmeric, or some people call it
Oh,
turmeric, but it's
I've
very
heard
good
of
for
that.
inflammation in your body. Yeah. Very, very good for inflammation.
I think there's also a celery salt. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Love my celery salt. Um, and then I also have poppy seeds. Goes great
Well, if
in
you can
Asian
have poppy
dishes.
seeds, can I have sesame seeds?
You can.
Okay.
Yep. And I have fennel seed. Goes great with Italian dishes. A little bit of
Oh,
fennel.
really?
Yeah, and if you crush it up
I didn't
before you
know
put it in
fennel had seeds. How awful is that?
yeah, yeah, fennel
Okay.
seeds. Yep. You can get them in the dried form, and you give them a little crush, and then add them to your Italian sauces and things like that. Very good, but use it sparingly. It's very, very strong.
Well, speaking of strong, how about the red pepper flakes? Like they give you
Oh,
with
yeah,
takeout pizza?
the crushed red pepper. Yep, yep. And um, I cupboard.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, Amy?
Oh, it's mustard. I'm sorry, no, parsley. I'm sorry.
Parsley.
I already said
Okay.
mustard. Yeah, parsley. And I have you can get the dried form. So just in
Mhm.
case, like anytime I get parsley, it seems like it always goes bad in the refrigerator. It never lasts as long as you want it to.
It
So
does. Mhm.
I just buy the dried parsley.
Okay. I'm gonna say thyme, as in THYME, thyme.
Yep. Never enough time.
So true.
I'm gonna say saffron, which
Oh,
I
bye,
don't
Scooter
have it. I don't have it in my cupboard, but um
Isn't it the most
I
expensive of all
it's
spices?
most expensive. Yes, it is. It is. Yeah.
I'm gonna say marjoram.
Oh, that's a good one. Very good. I don't cook with it a lot, but I have it. I have it in my cupboard. Let's see. pumpkin spice for your
Ooh,
pumpkin pie.
okay.
Pumpkin pie spice is the actual one that I have in my cupboard. It's called pumpkin pie spice.
I bet you could probably also add it to teas and coffees and lattes and hot chocolates and other things too. Oh no, Amy may have frozen. It's like my internet meets her storm, and we've both got broadcasting
Yep,
problem.
yep, there we go.
There we
Are you
are.
there?
Would you, yes,
Okay.
would you repeat your answer pretty please?
I didn't give one. Was it
Oh,
my
okay.
turn?
Um, no, it was my turn because you picked
Yeah,
pumpkin
I said
spice.
pumpkin. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna use my first Ask the Audience. So, everybody in the audience, go ahead and shout out
Yes.
spices that you wish we had said. Now, Renee, I thought about those, but they are all name brands. And this is not name a brand of spices. So, I can't say Zatarain's and Tony Sacerays and all that stuff I have in my cupboard. So, that's not the name of the spice, that's the name of the brand. So, they're actually spice blends that are proprietary. So all of that stuff that I use in real life, even
Yeah.
just I'll tell Amy while y'all are putting your questions, your suggestions in. Even just making a sandwich. When I was growing up, my sister showed me you put the mayo on the bread and then you sprinkle the Zatarain's or Tony Sacerays and then you put your meat and cheese on there. That
Oh,
way
that
you don't
sounds
have to buy a whole
delicious.
bunch of fancy condiments. You always start with mayo and then you just add whatever
Add the
zippy spices you
spices.
want and that'll flavor
Yeah.
the mayo.
Yeah. That sounds delicious. I've never tried that though. I will. I'm gonna now.
Well, you could probably. Oh, that gives me an idea. I was going to say you could mail order it, but somebody has been emailing me saying you should sell some local items on your auction. Don't just sell things that you
That are,
already have or you retail arbitrage.
yep.
Back during the carnival season, on I had one of my first pop-up auctions, and in
Mhm.
her wisdom, my managing moderator Karen said, "You need to sell some Mardi Gras stuff, girl." And I'm like, "Who's gonna want Mardi Gras stuff? It's just
Everybody.
local favorites." And
People
so I made
all
a few
around.
videos. Renee was also saying the same thing. We'd like to see some of the Mardi Gras decorations. We'd like to see some of the collectible beads and bracelets and decor. We know that not everything that's thrown out is plastic, that there are epic heirloom pieces. And I said, "Oh,
Wow.
okay, I'll throw a few things up." I really thought my Mardi Gras marketplace was just going to be an excuse to sell some things, but yet I spent several hours because everything I showed, oh, do you have more of this? Do you have more of this? Do you have more of that?
You
And
end
I
up
was
going
really
back
surprised
more.
how
Yeah.
well local things sold. So
Yeah.
I'm now thinking I might need to go out and just to my local grocery and maybe get some of the spices and mixes just for people who live in other states or other countries because
Hmm.
I could probably ship it to them fairly inexpensive. See, I'm getting some great ideas here for
Right? The
ways to
food.
expand my
Yeah, the food
auction and
mixes.
money making opportunities. And I have Amy to thank. Okay, in the meanwhile, y'all have given great answers. I'm going to use
Yep.
my first Ask the Audience on Renee's answer of sage.
Sage. Love that. I use that
Yes,
in my
ma'am.
biscuits and gravy. I make great biscuits and
Ooh.
gravy. Um, how about anise? Some people
Ooh,
call
like
it
licorice.
anise or anise. Yeah, it's that licorice flavor.
Yes.
Um, yeah.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to use my second Ask the Audience, and I'm going to go with Joni D's answer of Adobe.
Okay. Is that um, a Mexican spice? I'm not familiar with it. That's the only reason I ask. I want to eat it, Amy's Karen said. You're welcome to come to Colorado anytime. Do you whoever said that in the chat, do you know where that spice is from? Oh, it's Filipino. Okay. I had no idea. I've never used that. I'm going to have to write that down. Try it out.
Well, I've only seen it on menus. So that's the only way that I've heard it is just seeing it on menus. I've never tasted it. I've never tried it. I've never even
Yeah.
tried curry. So therefore, it's not
I'm not
popular around here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
It's like
curry.
something you'd see on a food show. So,
Right. Gosh, I don't know.
well, you still have all three of your Ask the Audiences.
Oh, that's right. Let's ask the audience. Anything that I haven't said?
And you might want to scroll up too. There's some answers that have gone
Oh,
past that were good. And people will keep
yeah.
putting in more answers.
Native wild man says gunpowder. I don't use that in my food. It's not in my cupboard. I guarantee it.
Well, his cupboard's a little bit different than ours. When Native Wildman was playing, he
Uh huh.
designed categories where he could physically show us things. Like, for instance, he
Oh,
picked
that's
one
cool.
that was minerals and gemstones. And every time he would give an answer, he would pull it out and show to the entire audience in front of the camera. It was such a great idea. I love when guests are that prepared that they pick things that they really surround themselves with, that they love, they use, they have on hand. And it was so exciting to see him pull out every answer and literally show it to us.
Wow. I don't know. Have I know this is one that I should have thought of way earlier, but salt.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Like the number one ingredient in just about every recipe, even the savory or sweet dishes.
KJ, welcome, welcome. Now, I'm not sure if that would count or not. KJ is asking if vanilla would count. You know what? I am going to go out on a limb, and if I'm wrong, it wouldn't be the worst thing. Amy would win. So I'm going to guess vanilla, and we'll see if it's right or wrong. So, Amy, does vanilla count as a spice, or is it just an extract?
It's not a dry ingredient. Spices are usually either they're usually a dry ingredient.
So, Amy wins. Hip
I,
hip hooray!
I
Hip hip
didn't use.
hooray! Hip hip hooray! So, with a score of 2-1, Amy Cool Ranch Dorito wins.
Thank you. Although
Now, if y'all
I do have liquid, additives in my cupboard, in that same cupboard. But I think spices, I should have maybe said dry ingredients, but
that's okay.
I feel bad.
Sometimes it's fun guessing. No, don't feel bad. Until you get questions like I did, you don't know the parameters, and I was out of other answers anyway. So I had to guess something. I'd always rather go out with a bad guess or a wrong guess than with just saying
Oh,
I'm
of
stumped.
course.
That's
Yeah.
the way I like to go out. So Samantha is still dropping Amy's link. So y'all go
Thank you
ahead
so
and
much.
subscribe. Y'all can see what a sweetheart Amy is. You can see that she sells both fine jewelry and costume jewelry, and
Yep.
that apparently she is a bargain lover, like this bargain lover.
Oh, yeah.
So if you like my Bargains by Belle, now that we have found out that Amy has her 1, 3, and $5 sale. Tell everybody again when your sales are, what you sell at what sale, which is on what channel. Go ahead and give us all the details so we can write it down, we can subscribe, and we can join you in the chat of your auctions.
Well, most of my auctions are during the week. Um, I do, and then I do guest auctions with Scooter Renee on Thursdays. Um, Usually on my 135 sales, I try to have those on Mondays. Again, like I mentioned, that this is an extra source of income, but because of my disability, some days it's just harder than others, and sometimes I will have to cancel or postpone an auction. But I try to do 135 sales on Monday. I always try to keep on task with being on with my good girl Scooter. Um, and then I'm going to be on tomorrow with the Booted Chick. If you look up the Booted Chick with Rita, she has a friends auction, so I'll be on there tomorrow with her. And gosh, I have it's kind of a lot. It's not all pop-up auctions, but if you go to my channel, you can click on the live button and you can see what I have planned out. And just, I appreciate anybody who wants to subscribe to me. And I appreciate Belle for having me on. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate this.
Oh, well, this has been fantastic. It was great to get to meet you and talk to you. I have to confess, I already knew Amy through
Yes.
some purchases, but yet when you are just reading comments from somebody or just sending them an invoice, it's not the same as talking
No.
to them. And I had no idea having these bargains by Bell auctions that anybody else had dollar items out there. Now I have to ask for your 135 sales. Do you have like
Mhm.
a dollar section and then a $3 section and a $5 section? Or is it $1 item, then one $3 item, then a five? Is it a one, three,
No.
five, or is it in sections? How do you do
It's no, I just have I put together 3 bins of items all mixed. Some of
okay?
it's kids toys, clothes, you name it, just a wide variety. And I put them in categories, and then I just pull from those, and I'll say, okay, this one's, $1, and the first person that hits the dollar or the name, as my moderator will put in the name of the item or claim it with this name. So the first
Oh,
one in
okay.
gets it for $1. It is literally that easy. It's just, I don't bid them up. It's not an auction. It is a sale. Everything that I have in my dollar
Oh, it's
bin
buy it
is
now.
$1. It is all buy it nows. Yep. On my,
Okay.
on my
And
one
who's
three.
your moderator?
Vexing Rose is my
Okay.
moderator, and she actually gets to pick the words, which is sometimes kind of funny because sometimes it has nothing to do with the item. she just pulls a name out of a hat and types it in the chat. It's really cute, but it is a
Oh,
lot of
that's
fun.
cute.
Yeah, it goes very fast paced. Most of my shows that are on my channel, we don't really, it's not one of those all day things. It's usually just a couple of hours,
Uh-huh.
is what, whatever my body tells me I can do. And that's kind of where we go from there. And it's just a lot of fun. You'll always have a good time. And sometimes my husband will join me and help out. Sometimes we have Sunday afternoon shows. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, nice. Well, I will make a point to catch some of those because you have been such a delight. And
Thank
I wish health and happiness to you. And I hope
thank
to see you again. And I'll private message you and see if I might can help you with those YouTube community posts or maybe
Oh,
even get you
that'd be
on
great.
Discord.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
because I
Awesome.
want us to be friends going forward here, and maybe we can help each other out. And thank you so
Okay.
much for being my guest, and thanks for showing up early to the show. That is so nice to have guests that show up early.
Oh, I love to show up early and chit chat beforehand, of course. And
That's
it
the
was
best
great
part.
to get to know you. I love that. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Have a great night. If you have time, spend a little time in the chat with
I
our
will.
next guest. Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Sounds great. Bye bye.
Okay, now before we bring up our next guest, during the intermission, we have a fun round of mystery boxes. So let me bring up a few mystery boxes for tonight. Okay, let's see what we have here. Let me pull the camera back. All right, here is one mystery box. Here is another mystery box. So these are at the $10 level. We'll also have some at the 5 level. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Joni. And still to come, we will have Melissa, if we can get her back. Initially, she was supposed to be first, and then I didn't see her, so we went ahead with the person who arrived first, which was Amy. So, if anybody is interested in a mystery box, let me tell you how this works. We do this at the auction. Oh, you have to go, Native Wildman. I'm so sorry. But I can't wait to see you on the show again and to battle with you again. We had some great battles, and I love that you turned it into a show and tell. Okay, so the way this works is these are $10. We've got two choices. We've got a box 1 and a box 2. These can be added to your ongoing invoice, or you can start an invoice and then add to it at the upcoming auctions. All items that are wrapped up are brand new, and they're guaranteed to be a minimum $10 value, if not more. And so once somebody has bid on this, they have two options. It can be sent to them sight unseen, or they can open it in front of everybody and we can all behold the glory of what the mystery item is. So we'll see if anybody has any interest. These particular ones are at the $10 level. I do also have some later between guests that will be at the $5 level. Samantha, let me know if you have if you can get our guest back and that we're ready for her, or if you have a replacement guest, or if not, you can drop the link and we can get a replacement player from the chat. In the meanwhile, let's see if there's any interest in either of these mystery boxes. Or if anybody would prefer the $5 ones, I can swap these out for the $5 mystery boxes. Any mysteries are fun. I absolutely agree. Okay, any interest? If not, I can swap these out or we can go for our next contestant. If you haven't already clicked the thumbs up, please, oh please, go ahead. And if you're not subscribed, this is a great time to press the subscribe button and to turn on notifications so that you'll know about the pop-up auction tomorrow at 2 p.m. And if you haven't voted for the theme of the pop-up auction, there is still time. We have two themes that are running neck and neck. such a slim margin. It could go either way. The two themes that are in the running, because one theme is so far back, but the two themes that are running neck and neck are Belle's Outdoor Extravaganza and Bling by Belle. Okay, well, I will swap these out then. If anybody would like to see the $5 ones, I wrap them in this pretty yellow paper. Because after all, does a mystery box have to literally be a box, or could it be any mystery gift? So, if anybody is interested in any of these sunshine yellow poofs of joy, $5. If not, we'll get right back to the game and we'll see who in the chat wants to play. We'll be glad to pick somebody from the chat, or maybe even one of my moderators will click the link and volunteer. Aw, thank you, Amy. Yep, I think a little yellow sunshine is always a nice pick me up. And just imagine the joy and beauty inside. And for the low price of $5, you're getting a bargain. Okay, any interest? Otherwise, I can clear these off and we'll get back to the game. Let's see who wants to play Battle with Belle tonight. So if you're in the chat and you watched the fun categories that Amy came up with, if you watched us volley back and forth, having such a great time with answers of the cool categories, and you were thinking, well, I'd like to do that. Well, I'd like to play. I could come up with some cool categories, or I'd like to get a few more subscribers and get my link dropped. That's all you have to do is you click the link that Samantha is dropping to get StreamYard, and you can pick the categories. We will answer the categories back and forth. And meanwhile, the mods will drop your links to help get additional subscribers. Well, Amy's saying it's fun to play. Maybe Amy should just click the link and come play real quick. I've got time for one more player tonight, or maybe there's somebody watching in the chat who's never played before. It'd be a great night for a newbie. I will set these aside. And we will get back to the game. As always, my background decor is for sale. If you've been looking at this cute little stone thinking that would look so sweet in my yard, sitting underneath a tree, sitting next to my hydrangeas or my roses, this can be yours for the low price of just $3. It is brand new and clean, and it sat on my dad's desk. Although I do have a couple few of these, so it can also be a paperweight, can also be a bookshelf sitter. Oh, the game, Joni, is called Last Word because in going back and forth with your answers, the goal is to have the last word. StreamYard is just the device whereby I can stream multiple people on my show at the same time. Or maybe Renee would like to play if Amy's already in her pajamas, although you can just turn your avatar on, or even better, aim the camera at some of your beautiful jewelry, since items in the background are always for sale. And I know Amy hand makes jewelry that is absolutely for sale. Joni, if you want to try to click the link, you can see if it will connect you. If you have a Google account, it should connect up. Oh, good night, KJ. Thanks so much for coming and joining in. You don't need to turn your camera, just use your avatar. That's fun. I mean, if you just want to show something, it's mostly YouTubers or resellers that show something just to help with sales. But lots of people use their avatars. There's no shame in that. If you want to try, we will wait. Okay, Amy, no worries. Maybe Karen wants to play or Samantha. Welcome, Diane. It was 95 degrees in Canada. I am so surprised. I didn't know that you ever had temperatures way up there. Okay, well, we've had our first guest, Amy of Cool Ranch Dorito, who was so charming. If anybody else would like to play, we have the link in the chat. I hate to call it a night early, so we'll see if somebody else wants to play tonight, or if anybody wants to bring back mystery boxes, either at the $5 or $10 level, y'all let me know. We're glad to do that. I'm sorry we weren't able to have Melissa on. We'll have to try to get her rebooked. Anybody else before we call it a night? Join me at 2 p.m. tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon for our pop-up auction. It's our viewer's choice pop-up auction. And if you haven't already voted, the poll is on my YouTube community post, and it is neck and neck between Belle's Outdoor Adventure and between Bling by Belle. And my next contestant, oh, I had her and then I lost her. Oh no. Karen, click the link again. I somehow lost you. I thought it was putting you up on the screen. Come back, come back. Samantha, tell her to come back. Send her the link again, pretty please. Lost her. But we will get Karen back. And anytime Karen is on the show, it's kind of like a battle of the Southern Bells. Okay. There she is. Welcome, Karen. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I so appreciate you, sweetie. I appreciate you filling in. Karen, oh, Karen, can you hear me? Karen, can you hear me? Karen? Oh, Karen. I may be buffering. Karen, can you hear me? Karen is trying to join us. Aw, the hedgehog says good night to you too, KJ. And we hope to see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Is that 1 p.m. or noon for you? I always forget. Are you on Pacific or Mountain Time, KJ? Can y'all hear Karen, or is it just me that can't hear Karen? Is it me that is having sound issues? Karen, can you hear me? Okay, we seem to have lost Karen. I'm so sorry about that. Those internet gremlins. Okay, we've also had Renee arrive in the meanwhile. So, welcome,
Hello.
welcome, Renee. How are you today,
Uh,
sweetheart?
yeah, I couldn't hear her at all. Oh yeah, I'm better today than I was yesterday. That's for sure. I was so tired last night. Yeah, I did not have a
Now,
good day
has it been in the
yesterday.
90s in your part of Canada as well?
Not today. No, it was only 68 here today. But it's supposed to get hotter
Well,
at the end of
that's
the
nice
week.
weather.
Yes, it's supposed to get
Okay.
hotter at the end. It's supposed to get hotter at the end of the week, like Friday, Saturday. It's supposed to be 90. So I'll take this nice cool day for a bit. So yeah, it'll be hotter on the weekends. It was kind of hot yesterday too.
All right.
It it was like 85 degrees yesterday, so I had to turn the AC on in my room. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to sleep because it was really warm. Then I shut it off this morning when it got cooler. Let me see. Oh, I had so many
Welcome
spices
to
in
my
my head
world.
when you guys were doing that spice thing. I was just like, I got this one, I got this one, I got this one. I'm like, ah, why didn't I think of that category? That was a good one.
It
Um,
was. She had all good categories. So I love categories where I have a little bit of a chance, or categories where at least I know what we're talking about. Amy was
yeah,
such a fun contestant. We're going to have her back again, don't you think?
yes, for sure. Yeah, and cheese. What did I think of that too? And I work in a deli. Oh my goodness, that was a good category. Cheese too. I'm like, because you know how many white cheddar cheeses there are? Like, seriously, like we sell 8 different types of white cheddar. There's like 2-year-old Canadian white cheddar, there's 1-year-old, and there's even a English cheddar too. There's an English one, and it's like an aged matured
And we didn't
cheddar.
even get into the mild versus the sharps. We just left
Yeah,
it at, cheddar. We didn't go into the white cheddar versus the um, orange cheddar. We just left it kind of generic. So I
because
love that she didn't
actually,
make it too hard on me.
yeah, because actually, um, when you think of cheddar with the orange, it's a coloring that's added to it. So that's why it's
Is
orange.
it?
Yes, it's a coloring added to it. So actual real cheddar is white. So when it's made
I didn't know
orange,
that.
yeah, when it's made orange, it's because it's the color. They put a color in it to make it that way. Yeah, that was on one of those shows on the Food Network said that on the one of those, like, I think it was Unwrapped or something like that. Yeah, I remember hearing about that on one of those shows. But yeah, it's the food coloring that they put into it, and actual white cheddar is white.
Kind of like white chocolate is actually not chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's what is it? It actually it's I think it's what is it? No,
It's
sugar and
butter and
butter. I think.
sugar.
Yeah, butter and sugar.
That's
Yeah,
it.
butter and sugar. Okay, I was gonna. Here's a category. What
Is
about?
that your category? Is that your
Huh?
category?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I
I
was
thought
just
maybe it
thinking.
was foods that aren't what they seem.
Oh yes, we can go with
Okay, so
um
you started with the cheddar, and I went to white chocolate.
yeah, and there's also, yeah, we can do that. That makes sense. Yeah, we can do that. There's also when you think pepper, you
Did I
usually think,
misunderstand? I'm sorry.
yes,
Did I misunderstand?
yeah, yeah. I was just thinking of something, then my train, you said that, and my train of thought just went.
Oh, well, you started saying by about pepper, or when you think of
Oh yeah,
pepper.
yeah. Yeah, when you think, okay, we'll do that then. Okay, categories of which you think is not really something, but it's something. Yeah. Okay. How about like, yeah, yeah, that'll do. Okay, I think I got some answers. How about, yeah? When you think of pepper, you usually think of black pepper. There's also a white pepper.
That's true. And when you think of salt, you usually think of white salt, not Himalayan pink salt.
Yeah, if there's also sea salt.
Yes. And when you think of oysters, you don't think of Rocky Mountain oysters, which are not actual oysters at all.
Nope, there's another name. We call those Perry oysters in Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're not actual oysters.
Oh, and there's a cheese that's actually not a cheese either. Head cheese is not a cheese.
What is it?
It is. It's actually a type of meat that is made with gelatin. So it's kind of like my grandma used to make it using the head of a, because when you were thinking of that pig head story, I was thinking, oh, they must gonna use it for head cheese, and that's why they're selling it. So that's what they use to make head cheese with, is actually the head of the pig.
Well, they will roast whole pigs and even whole pig
Yeah.
heads in
Yeah.
Texas. And they will also use the pig ears, and they make great use of lots of parts of the pig head
Oh.
in some of the native recipes because with it being a second language of Spanish, there's a lot of indigenous Mexican people who come over the border, so they source their ingredients from local groceries. Okay, let's see. What's my answer going to be? I'm going to go with turtle cheesecake, which includes no actual turtle. The turtle is actually caramel and pecans.
Yes, like the chocolate. There's
Yes,
turtle's
so
chocolates.
it's another food that is not what it sounds like.
Yeah, there's turtle chocolates. You know that commercial, turtles, turtles, rah rah rah, turtles, turtles, ha ha, ooh, we love turtles.
I have never heard that before. That's not a commercial in America, but it's a super cute sounding commercial.
Yeah, it's there's actual turtles chocolate here. It's made by Nestle. It's like, yeah, it's a popular at Christmas time. Also, when you think of um, oh, let me see. I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
okay, my mom.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we go back. Her answer is that she accepted my turtle cheesecake answer.
Yep. Yep. And also, let me see. When you think of a pie, you usually think it's not savory, but you usually think it's like a dessert. But there's also shepherd's pie.
That's true. And there's also humble pie, and that's not food
Yeah.
at all.
Oh, there's like when you think of Yeah, like oh yeah, like mincemeat pie is actually it's a fruit based. There's actually no meat in it. Not literally meat. It's made from suit. There's suit one, and then there's the dried fruit one. So it's actually you think it's called mincemeat, but it really isn't. It's not made from really meat.
That's
It's
interesting. No meat in the mincemeat pie. I would not have known that. Okay, I'm going to go with French toast, which is not toasted. It is not put in a toaster. It is bread soaked in milk and vanilla and cinnamon and then just flipped over on a
oh
grill.
yes, I made French toast a couple of weeks ago with that I posted it on I think Discord. I posted it.
It was
I mean,
gorgeous.
it was made with what's that bread? That egg bread? I can't think. A brioche bread. And you
Yum.
also think, yeah, you also think of like as a what was it? Let me think. You also think chocolate milk comes from brown cows, but it actually doesn't come from a brown cow.
Okay,
It's chocolate
true.
milk. It's made with chocolate in it.
Well, the next food that I feel like has a name misnomer to it is hamburgers, which are not made from ham. They are, of course, made from ground meat. They just happen to be invented in Hamburg, Germany. But no ham in the hamburger.
And also, French fries was actually invented in I think Belgium too, wasn't it?
I don't know. You're going to have to ask your assistant.
I think so. Let me see. Hey Siri, where were French fries invented? Oh, it was Belgium. Yeah, it,
Wonderful. You have such a good memory.
yeah, it was Belgium. I kind of figured it was Belgium. Yeah. So French fries is actually not really French. It's Belgium. Everybody calls them that because.
Okay, that makes sense.
Uh,
Okay, let's see what else. I'm going to use my first ask the audience. Audience, if you've been thinking of a food that has a name which is the opposite of what it actually is or the ingredients in it, y'all go ahead and give me some ideas in the chat, and then I'll pick one of those ideas. I think this may be one of our most inventive categories yet, Renee.
yeah. What about?
Well, y'all don't take your time. Go ahead and type. I know this might be a longer answer to type. It's not the one or two word answers that most categories require, but I think that y'all can come up with some fun, creative answers, just like Renee and I have. Now, some of these I might not have heard of or I might not know what they mean. So, no hurt feelings if I don't necessarily know or understand. Some of my food knowledge is somewhat limited. Okay, I've got one. Cordon bleu. Cordon bleu is not blue. Not blue at all. It's called cordon bleu because of there being a little bit of blue cheese baked inside the butterflied chicken
Actually, it's not made with blue cheese,
before
though.
it is breaded.
It's not made
But
with blue
it's
cheese.
not
It's
blue
made with
at all. Because
it's
when
ma-
you get it, it's
it's made with Swiss
okay.
cheese. Yeah, because I used to make it in high school for the
All right.
kitchen,
Well,
but it's not
then
blue. That's
I was wrong,
it's still the same.
which means
It's still
Renee
the same. It's still the no, Val.
wins. So
No,
everybody in the chat, congratulate him. Hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. So the first category goes to Renee. So everybody in the congratulate Renee. If you haven't already subscribed to Renee, go ahead and click on the link that Samantha is dropping to subscribe to Renee.
and
Renee,
I
what is the
also
second category for tonight?
um let's see. Hmm. About hmm. Oh, it's starting to rain. Is it starting to rain? I think so. What about how about let me see. Uh, Turkeys. Let's see. How about oh my goodness. Oh goodness, I can't think. I can't think. Hmm. What about 19?
Renee, your screen has gone dark.
Oh, did I press something?
Oh, now we see you a little bit more. There we go. Thank you.
Oh no, it was just kind of got dark in here. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it clouded over, so the sun went away. Oh, let me see. How about uh male rock singers? There we go. We'll do that.
Okay. Well, you go first.
Brian Adams.
Elvis Presley.
Eric Clapton.
Uh, Bon Jovi.
Um, Bruce Springsteen.
Rick Springfield.
Um, Billy Idol.
Okay. Elton John. He may not qualify. Is he more pop? That may be a wrong answer.
I think I think he's. Well, he's more pop. Yeah. Yeah, he's more pop. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I just gave a wrong answer. It means I'm wrong and written. Sorry, the chat. Hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Okay, I just thought of one of this because I seen
Okay,
a
what's
commercial.
going to be the third category for tonight?
Brands of vehicles.
Okay.
Brands. Yeah, brands. I saw a car commercial, so I was like, yeah, that's pretty common. We can do that. Brands of
Okay.
vehicles.
Well, so far, for those of you who are watching, Renee has won the first two. So we already know that technically she is the winner, but we always play all three of the categories. because it's just for fun and just for bragging rights. And it gives Renee a great chance for y'all to get to know her more and to subscribe to her channel. So, vehicle brands. Here we go. What's your first one, Renee?
Toyota Camry.
Okay, well, I of course have to say my own car, which is a Toyota Prius.
Um, Dodge Ram.
Okay, I'm gonna say a Ford Fiesta. Oh, good night,
Toyota
Joni.
High
Thank you so much for coming, sweetie.
Toyota Highlander.
Okay, Toyota RAV4.
Toyota Tundra.
A Ford Focus.
Um, a Lamborghini.
Um, an Aston Martin.
A Corvette.
Um, a Rolls Royce.
Dodge Charger.
Okay, Firebird.
Um, Ford Ford Ranger.
How about a Model T?
Um, how about Jeep Cherokee?
Jeep Ram.
Um, how about a Toyota Corolla?
Okay, a Ford Explorer.
Uh, Mercedes Benz.
A Kia.
Subaru.
Smart car, which is what my sister drives.
Honda.
Okay, I think for a while there was a car company called a Saturn.
Yep. Ford Saturn. Manza. I think I'm
Okay,
mispronouncing that. Mazda.
a
Yeah.
Volkswagen Bug.
How about
I think Volkswagen also made a Rabbit.
yep. Shelby.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one before. What country is it from?
A Shelby. It's one of those classic cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a classic car, Shelby. There was a guy on counting cars that have like a bunch of them, and they go for like their high end collector car.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What have we not said yet? I'm going to use my first Ask the Audience. So, y'all shout out and type into the chat all of the brands of cars that I've missed. I'm sure that you probably have seen lots. Maybe you drive one that I've missed. So, let's see what I've forgotten. After all, they invent and retire cars all the time. Okay, I'm going to go with Paula's answer of a Chevrolet.
Pontiac.
Okay. I'm gonna,
I said Pontiac.
and I said Buick.
Okay. I didn't hear you. Okay. Land Rover.
Okay, how about a Hummer?
How about Cadillac?
Okay, how about a van?
What about Mercury?
Okay, how
Gonna
about an
buy
Audi?
me, gonna buy me a Mercury and cruising it down the road.
How about an Audi? Audi?
Yeah,
Audi.
yeah, I know. Yeah, my cousin drove one. Uh,
Okay.
T-Bird, Thunderbird,
Okay. Oh, I said that, Amy, but thanks. That's a great answer. Okay, let's see what else. Um, how about a Bentley?
How about a Hyundai? Hyundai. That's another Japanese car.
Okay. Now, Amy is asking for clarification. Are we naming makers or models of cars? That's a really good
Models
question.
maker, models makers of cars.
So apparently the answer is both, Amy, both.
Just cars.
Okay. Let's see. How about a um Pinto? I believe it's a Ford Pinto. I believe it
Ferrari.
was around in the 1950s.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ferrari.
Uh, how about a Studebaker?
How about uh, a station wagon?
Okay. Um, well, now that you've said that, I keep picturing those with the wooden flaps on the sides. Okay.
The Woodies.
Yes, yes, those. And there was also one that was like half station wagon, but half like cargo in the back that
Oh yeah, I
came
remember those.
out about the same time or maybe a little after. I can't what you call this though. But it's one of those things you see in those retro movies.
Yes, I seen those all. Yeah, I seen
But
those in the
anyway, let me
1980s
see.
ones.
What
Yeah.
other answers? I keep trying to think of that little car that Michael J. Fox had in the Back to the Future movies, but I can't remember what you call that little thing.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
You know the
Oh, I
one I
know.
mean, right?
Yes, I know which one you're talking
Because
about.
all of those old movies had cars in them.
Oh, what is
I'm
that
also
thing
trying to
called?
think what you call that Batman movie car, too. Oh, I've got an answer. It's a sad answer. And my apologies in advance to anybody in the chat. I'm not trying to be maudlin or mournful, but it's just my answer. I'm going to say a hearse.
Yes. What about NASCAR?
What the hell is that called?
The
Is that
Pacific
an actual
NASCAR.
car, though?
Yeah, it's like a NASCAR. It's a racing car.
Yeah.
They're actually NASCARs
Okay.
in NASCAR circuit that are NASCARs.
Okay. For some reason, I thought NASCAR was a sport or a race. I didn't think it was an actual style of
They
car. So
actually
I'm
have
learning stuff today.
NASCARs for NASCAR racing. A
Okay.
specific
That
car they
that makes
use.
sense.
I'm pretty sure it's right.
Okay. I'm gonna say Mustang, a Ford Mustang.
Oh. Hmm. A funny car. They have funny car races.
Okay, then I'm gonna say a clown car.
Oh, what the heck are you? What is? Oh, what is that called? Did we say Austin Mini?
DeLorean. God.
Did we say Austin Mini?
No, we didn't.
Okay. That was the Mr. Bean car, the Austin Mini.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say a Jeep Gladiator.
DeLorean was the Back to the Future car.
Yeah.
Oh, good answer. Okay. I want to say there's a car called a crossover, which crosses from SUV into truck.
I'm not sure. I heard of it, yes.
Hey Siri, is there a type of crossover car? Yes.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. What about?
I think Amy might wish that she had chosen this category, and I don't think that Amy was in the chat when Renee said that she wished she had chosen all the categories you chose tonight. So I love that y'all are loving each other's categories. So, but I don't think Amy was in the chat when Renee was saying how much that she enjoyed Amy's categories. She wished she thought of them herself, which was high praise. Oh, I didn't know that Amy was a car buff. Well, I'm learning a lot about her tonight.
What about? What the heck are those called? Those 1970s vans, like the Scooby Doo vans. What are those called?
Well, I did already say van. I didn't specify exactly what type. I mean, I was kind of sort of picturing that, but
There was also minivans. There's minivans.
well, we appreciate you coming back.
There are minivans. There's also big vans. There's like all kinds of big vans. How about
That's true.
Hazard car.
what was that called? The Dukes of Hazzard car. Is that a Charger?
Yeah, I think so.
No, what was the Dukes of Hazzard's car called? Oh, I can't think of it. Uh,
I
yeah,
know it played the tune to Dixie.
yeah. Oh, I should know that. I seen one on a car show for Pete's sake. Oh, I can't think of it. What about a dump truck?
Dukes of Hazzard car.
According to Wikipedia, the General Lee is an orange 1969 Dodge Charger.
Yes, it was a Charger. Yes. Yeah, it was a Dodge Charger. I'll go with Dodge Charger.
Okay, I'm going to use my second Ask the Audience. And so y'all help me out with some cars that we haven't yet said. So let's see what they can think of that we haven't said yet. Although we've given so many answers, it's going to be tough for them to find one that we haven't said yet. So we had some modern ones, we had some old school ones. So we went back as far as the Model T. We covered a bunch
Huh?
in the 50s, a bunch in the 70s,
Oh yeah.
even a few European ones. I wonder if they can think of anything we haven't said yet.
What was that one that Grandpa had then that got wrecked? It was a Toyota. What?
I think I said that, Amy.
Huh?
Oh,
No.
there's one I didn't say. I'm going to go with Cool Ranch Doritos answer, a Ford Bronco.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna use my first Ask the Audience too. I'm gonna go with her one here, the
Great.
Escalade.
I thought I had said that. Didn't I say Ford Escalade?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, maybe I'm wrong then. Everybody listening in chat, was that an accidental duplication? Although, y'all keep in mind, Renee has already won the first two, so this third one we're just playing out for fun. So she is already the winner.
I don't think it
Let's
was said.
see it. Okay, well, maybe I'm remembering wrong. Maybe I was just thinking it. Okay, let's see. For my next answer, I'm going to say, how about a limo?
Um, I'm going to say a Ford Lincoln Continental.
Okay. Let's see. What else have we not said yet? I'm feeling like I played this category with Lisa because I remember she named a bunch of trucks and they all had like letters and numbers as their name. Although I'm not going to start guessing which letters and numbers put together symbolize a truck. I think there might be a vehicle called a Highlander.
I said that already.
Oh, you said that. Well, it was me that made the accidental duplication. So, with the score of 3-0, Renee wins. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Thank you ever so much for filling in for Melissa tonight. Hopefully, we can rebook Melissa on another night. Apparently, she had an auction to scoot off to, which is why she was late and why she couldn't stay to play. But Melissa, we miss you so much. And I hope everybody can tune and we chat. She will be typing in my descriptions, my starting bids. She'll be pushing me with her countdown. If ever there were a moderator that could keep the pace moving, it is Renee. She is fantastic at that. So Renee will be running my auction tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I hope you will join me, join Renee. And remember, voting is open still until midnight. And then you'll see Danielle's beautiful thumbnail of the theme that y'all choose. I'll have to stay up through the night to pick out the items for tomorrow's auction, but we will have a super fun time, regardless of whether you pick Belle's Outdoor Adventure or you pick Bling by Belle. So, see everybody tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard